Oh, mind, you are distracting. Say you are writing an assignment on a particular topic, and the mind is distracted. Mind is distracted. Oh, let me also use that book as a reference. This is a distraction, but this distraction is helpful, isn't it? There's distraction. Oh, let me Google out. Read that some paper. Yes. So we never should think that it is almost harmful. But now you rightly said you have to maintain your awareness. While distractions are also harmful when they disrupt the continuity of an activity. That's a good understanding. So when mind goes from a class to a girl or to food, this is just out of the no, that is not. It is an autopilot. You rightly said it is an autopilot. So not recognizing the distraction, whether it is useful or harmful, is lack of thinking. Simply say lack of thinking, so that it will help you to understand. It is important to make the distinction that the mind wanders and chases. That is, you have written it, but you have to reflect on this again and again and again. Yes, intellectually it is very good statement. It is important to make the distinction that the mind wanders and chases distractions, and then you have written not me. That is the key. Your mind is distracted watching the horror movie. TV is not distracted. TV stands as it is. There is something in us that cannot be distracted. We are discovering that. That cannot be distracted. Because it is eternal, it is permanent. It does not change, it is real. I appreciate it is important not to get upset when the mind is distracted. Remain casual. Oh, mind. Just communicate with the mind. I'll introduce something important as we follow before we take up these verses of the Tattva Bodha. So, what I was saying, yes, it is important not to get upset when the mind is distracted. Very important. So, I maintain my awareness. That is the presence. That is the presence plus O as an observer. I observe, yes. Mind, you communicate with the mind. Mind, where are you going? I went to the girl. Are you seeking happiness or pleasure or some sensual pleasure? Yes. What are you doing now? I'm studying now, so let me tell the mind softly, let me complete this work, and then I will take you to that. The distraction is gone. Don't oppose, don't react. If you oppose, if you react, it will create another impression, and that will trigger in the future. Yes, intellectually you have written recognition, dispassion is the seed. We are going to talk. So, you are young, okay. We are going to evolve. Even younger can evolve and reach to that higher state. Shankaracharya was how much? He was only 12-year old. He lived and he reached to that higher state of the consciousness. Shankaracharya lived only about, I would say, 32 years of age. He has written 200 books. One of them is Tattva Bodha. that we are studying. 32 years of age, 200 books. India is also a huge country. And he traveled the length and the breadth of India and completely transformed because he presented this Eastern wisdom in a fresh, logical, rational manner. One of the great masters ever lived. At the age of the 12, he lived with that higher awareness. Perhaps at the age of the 13, he wrote the first. And then he continued writing, he continued traveling, he continued guiding. So the basic thing is that in modern science we say, oh, young, there is a chemical changes, hormonal changes, adolescence, sensuality is there. I would say yes, but also you can transcend it. That is also possible. But modern psychology says, no, you have to get involved. So why I said so that you have written distraction, girls, social life, studying, school, and I have an answer, TikTok, Netflix and entertainment. I got an email just from the baby boomer. She was struggling and suffering from all these distractions. She sent an email that a couple came to me, known to me, they are my friends, and they asked me to go to a restaurant to have a drink and lunch. And she said that I was able to maintain my conscious awareness so that I should not be distracted, I should not take the drink too much, and I maintained that awareness. I returned home, I was happy while going, I was happy during the conversation, I returned in the state of the happiness home. What is that? TV did not change in me. That observer did not change. I maintained that observer, it did not change. Let me go directly to your question. So you gave me only two questions, or three or four questions. Two. Two. Can you explain me about what you mean when you say awareness is the compass? Does it mean that we know what is happening in the mind? Would learning to meditate in a lotus position sitting on the ground be worth? Answer is big yes. You start with that. If you can sit in lotus pose comfortably. If not, sit cross-legged. Yes. So the second answer I have given. Then what I did, once I received and I said, oh, let me create maybe 10, 15 questions that will make you clear everything. So the first question, what is the primary purpose of POISE method? Primary purpose of POISE method is to enhance mindfulness practice through the 5-step framework. Normally people say, oh, close your eyes, pay attention to the breath, and we already have great so-called great scientists who redefine mindfulness in the US. I don't want to name them, paying attention. But if my mind is distracted, paying attention is not working. Paying attention. My mind is paying attention on the girl. What should I do? They don't have an answer. So that is why, based on the Eastern wisdom, I created this framework of the POISE, the presence, the observer, investigate, space, embody. So paying attention to all the 5 factors will help you understand. That is why. Now see that a person practicing poise before a stressful job interview might use presence to ground themselves in the current moment. Observer to watch their nervous thoughts without judgment. Investigate to understand the source of their anxiety. Create space between themselves and the worry, and embody a state of calm confidence. But simply paying attention will not work. You see, I gave an example. Apply that. During meditation, a seeker might notice their mind wandering to daily tasks. Presence. Presence, I'm aware. What's happening? Oh, mind, where are you going? And observe this pattern without criticism. Observe it. I observe. Oh, mind, there you are going. Very good. The moment you are aware, the mind is distracted and mind is going to different places. You will have an attention. You simply observe. Oh, mind, where are you going? You are sitting in a lotus pose in meditation. The mind will return. Explore why certain thought persists. That is, investigate because of my past impression, because I met this girl yesterday. For example, you can meet those girls, I have no chance. Maybe. So create mental distance, and I'm not also interested. Create mental distance. So when you investigate, you create a mental distance from the thought. That is the space. Poise and integrate the peaceful awareness into your being. No issue. I'm okay. So what happens? You are okay with the girl, you are okay without the girl. That level should come into our mind. The poise method appears to be, it's a systematic approach to developing. If I use the word scientifically, not using the phrases of the Eastern wisdom, so poise method helps you to develop metacognitive awareness. Metacognitive awareness. Everything I'm aware of. I'm aware of the room, you, listening, speaker, wall, noise of the fan, AC, everything I'm aware of. The ability to think. What is this metacognitive awareness now? You have to reflect on this phrase. To ability to think about thinking. Thinking? Mind. Oh, she is cute and beautiful girl. Oh, this is the thought. So ability to think on this thinking. If you are not, you are already carried away. Like this millionaire. Now he is not doing, he changed. At present he has changed, so let us see how it happens. Now come to another question. The concept of so-called self-awareness in context of mindfulness. So self-awareness is presented as a foundational step in mindfulness, likened to a compass. I'm explaining your question. Likened to a compass. What? Just as a compass, it helps identify one's physical location. Compass gives you the physical location. Self-awareness helps an individual identity what is truly happening in the mind without judgment. Compass. Oh, this is the location without any judgment. Self awareness without any judgment. Oh, these thoughts, feelings, emotions are going on into my mind. That is why I use this metaphor. Just as a compass shows you're heading north when you intended to go south. Pay attention. Self awareness might reveal you are reacting with anger to criticism when you actually want to respond with a curiosity and openness. I have to go to the south. I was going to the north, the compass says. Oh, this is the north. Oh, let me change my path. Self awareness, compass. Self awareness, compass. You are reacting. Internally, you are building your anger. Now you are going to react. Switch to the south. No, you are not going to the north. Respond with curiosity and openness. Curiosity and openness. Curiosity. Someone says you are crazy. Ah, you are very crazy. Curiosity. How come I am crazy? Openness. Where the anger and reaction is not. We have already changed the direction. Compass. Compass. Don't forget why I give this metaphor. It will be installed in your mind. Oh, where is my compass? I reacted today. That is why I gave this metaphor. Anytime you react, you are angry. Okay, no. And after a few weeks of regular practice, you remember, I have to respond. I have to travel to the south. I was traveling to the north. No more. It will change your mindset. It will also help you preventing falling into sleep during the practice of meditation. Falling into sleep is going into mind is reacting, the past mind, the previous mind, with a past impression is reacting to the meditation. You want to respond. Like checking a compass before making a navigation decision. Checking in with your mental state before responding. See the connection? Like checking a compass before making navigation decisions. You are checking in with your mental state before responding to a difficult situation, difficult email, difficult problem in your study. Helps you choose a response from awareness rather than reactivity. The compass analogy is helpful because both self-awareness and a compass provide orientation without judgment. Clear? You have to listen to it again and again, then apply. Another thing, another way to understand this compass and self-awareness analogy, you just ask your intellect to focus on what is rather than what should be. What is here and what should be there. The past impressions of the mind, habitual mind, mechanical mind is always looking for what should be. Self-awareness is always looking for what is to start the journey. You have a compass, you want to travel to the south. Now you say, wow, physical location. Oh, I was traveling to the north. What is? Or what should be? This is what should be. No. Let me change the direction. Finished. That is why I gave an example of this contrast. Another confusion people have, majority of the people who have been practicing meditation, mindfulness for 50 years, what exactly is the thought separation and what is the goal? Another, this is the very important question. The thought separation reinforces the mind to discover I am not the thought. Thought occurs in mind. My mind and I am different. Its goal is cultivate detachment from the mental content. Thought separation. Goal is the detachment, allowing the individuals to observe thoughts without identifying with them or becoming emotionally entangled. I'm upset. This is only a thought. Then you are not upset. You are separate from the thought. You have to say in your mind. You say. No, it will not work. You simply say. You simply practice. And see what happens. That guy is coming, it will make me crazy. Oh, that guy is coming is also a thought. This will make me crazy is also a thought. It has nothing to do with me. I am not a thought. Now talk to that guy. It will raise your self awareness. You will start responding because those thoughts associated with the feeling is now not present. Why not present? You have taken a turn to the south, not the north. Just example, north, we say it's a reaction. When experiencing self-critical thoughts, for example, I'm terrible at this. I'm terrible. The technique would involve recognizing I'm having the thought that I'm terrible at this. It means you are not identifying. It means what? Mind will respond. How come I am terrible? Let me find the solution. Some people say that I'm weak in mathematics and I'm weak in physics or etc. I'm weak in physiology. No. It is only the mind blocking you. The mind blocking you. Mind is making you crazy. You have to separate it. Now I forgot completely. I was very good in mathematics. I used to solve the problems of algebra in my high school in my mind. Now I cannot do it because the practice is not there. Now, because I have never been for almost 40 years, 45 years, it is not there. And I was so, same thing with my son, my son was very poor and I was so much concerned. And now he got rid of it. The moment, that is the rule of a thought separation. From the thought, we create a typical personality attitude. No, this is not my cup of tea. Why not? During anxiety about future events, instead of I'm worried about tomorrow's presentation, the practice becomes I notice thoughts of worry about tomorrow presentation arising in my awareness. Are you understanding the separation? I am worried about tomorrow's presentation. I am attached to this thought. I have become worry. I have become tomorrow's presentation plus worry, and then I am gone, reacting. Instead, I notice the thoughts of worries about tomorrow's presentation. This is a thought. This is a thought. You continue to say in your mind, this is only a thought and I'm not the thought. This is only a thought, I'm not the thought. And until you find mind returns to the self-awareness without any judgment, start preparing it, revise it, forget. Forget means what? Let the tomorrow come, I'll make a present. Don't keep on repeating. You have already done it. Do you wake up in the morning and you say, I'm man, I'm a male, I'm male? No. It is in the field of awareness we both are male. You don't say that. Modern psychology, there is no word, but I'm saying it's a cognitive diffusion in acceptance and commitment. There is an acceptance and commitment therapy. There is another part. So it's a cognitive diffusion, and it can happen to us. How does the concept? Now we use another concept. I use the word prarabdha. Many times the past impressions stored in the mind. To make it very simple, modern science says DNA, it's a gray matter. DNA is a protein molecule, a gray matter, or simply a matter. But the mental DNA is prarabdha. I'm just comparing to make you understand. Prarabdha, we use this word again and again. Prarabdha, it is a concept of Eastern wisdom. It refers to the impressions carried from the previous experiences that affect current mental patterns and attachments. Oh, last year, I was making a presentation and my legs were shaking and everyone was joking. Tomorrow is another presentation. Last year, past impression. Patterns of it. Now I'm attached to those. Prarabdha. Oh, I made an excellent presentation. So prarabdha may be positive and negative. Oh, I made an excellent presentation. I told you that at your age, you're 19, no, a little younger than that, when I was in a high school, my legs used to shake. When my teacher used to say, oh, stand up and now answer this question. And I could not say anything. But now they are simply the statements. It does not carry those impressions. Anywhere, everywhere. Someone with a pattern of people pleasing might trace this back to childhood experiences of gaining approval through compliance. If I make you happy, and then I can get the things done from you. No, come to the right topic. It is the past impression. It is the prarabdha. It is the mental DNA. You might have inherited from your childhood. So find out what are those things in attitude you have inherited from your childhood or from the cultural, social inclinations living in your family. So once you recognize them, we can help remove those patterns which are harmful. That is a negative aspect. The person's tendency towards perfectionism. I don't know whether you have that idea. A person's tendency towards perfectionism could be understood as prarabdha, mental DNA, deeply ingrained patterns from the past conditioning, now manifest as persistent self-criticism and impossibly high standards. Sometimes it happens, what happens, parents sends the child, oh, you didn't get the honor roll? What kind of a child you are? So the parents are constantly hammering your mind in the childhood, and you develop an idea, fake idea of perfectionism. Idea of perfectionism in your mind, and then you criticize yourself. You are harming yourself. Don't harm. So you have to point out what are those childhood experiences you have so that we can start working on this. This concept bridges psychology and spirituality. Offering both personal responsibility, we can work with these patterns, and compassion. These patterns have deep roots beyond our current choices, and we can work on it, we can change it. I told you the story of Kalidas. America has a history of 300 or 400, or maybe 350 years. We have a history of 10,000 years. 3,000 masters. That's why I say 3,000 masters, 3,000 texts. And one of them is great. I won't say he was a great literary figure, but his writing was embedded in Eastern wisdom. He was the Shakespeare of India. I told you what happened in that, how Kalidas. So, when you forget the compass, go back. When you forget the compass, then anxiety, reaction, duality, self-harm starts. What is self-harm? I'm into anxiety, I'm harming myself. People normally say self-harm is committing suicide, cutting yourself. No. These are many at the very surface level. Even my anxiety, reaction, duality, conflict, I'm harming myself. I'm harming my system, physiological changes, biochemical changes, neurophysiological changes, my lifespan, my mental attitude, my behavior changes. That is the story of Kalidas. You have to remember, oh, am I Kalidas now? I'm into anxiety because I meet this guy. Oh, am I Kalidas now? What he has done? Why I'm upset? Like someone constantly complaining about toxic relationship while choosing partners with the similar patterns. No, I'm tolerating my friend. No, keep a distance. Use the intellect. Take a right decision. You have taken a right decision that you started living uh, alone, isn't it? Now you started living alone. Showing the inability. So we become, I create an inability in my mind. A manager criticizing their team for poor communication while being unclear in their own instruction. Manager is unclear about the instruction he has to pass, and then he says a poor communication. I'm harming myself. It's a lack of self-awareness. So the story of the Kalidas tells me what it tells me. I'm not Kalidas. In the younger age, he was sitting on the same branch of tree which he was cutting. Anxiety is the same thing. Stress is the same thing. Reaction is the same thing. Let us come to investigate or a witness state. Define the witness state as define the witness state or investigate in the POISE method of learning. The witness state, a neutral observer. That is why I said observer, neither for nor against. For what? Nor against thoughts or experiences. I have any thought, I have any experiences, I am not going for it, I am not against it. Good thought, bad thought, high thought, low thought, thought is just a thought. This neutrality creates, what it creates a freedom from attachment. I'm neutral. I appreciate you, you are handsome, you are beautiful, but I maintain my self-awareness. Your friend says, is she not beautiful? No, she is beautiful. I appreciate her beauty. But internally I'm neutral. So it helps you to discover what is attachment to. Watching anger. Now apply this. You watch your anger arise and pass away during a frustrating conversation without either suppressing it. You're communicating with your friend, he said you something, first instant you're calm, second instant you're angry, third instant you want to react, but you are neutral. I shouldn't feel angry. Say to your mind, this is just in communication. I shouldn't feel angry. I shouldn't react. Okay. Observer. Observing excitement about good news without grasping it. Let me rephrase. Observing excitement about good news without grasping at the feeling or trying to make it permanent. Simply allow these experiences to be present and then naturally it fades away. Oh, food is very good. I like this food, yes. No excitement, food is good. Why? After 10 minutes of eating the food, excitement is gone. Tongue. The role of tongue is hardly 10 minutes. You see, all these steps are helping you to raise your self-awareness in different situation, event, relationship, communication, listening and learning, witness state. You have to reflect on it. This witness state is a profound shift. It's a profound shift of the mind from being the experiencer to being awareness, just awareness. In the field of awareness, I explained you by compass. In the field of the compass, this experience is taking place, it has taken place, it is gone. You are not an experiencer. You are separate and different. That is the witness state. And if you live in the witness state, you have already succeeded in mindfulness in the first stage. And then we can go deeper. Yes, there might be little confusion. You have written it, but canvas analogy. What canvas convey? Analogy convey about the mental space and awareness. The canvas analogy represents the unchanging mental space that exists between thought and the real self. What I said, canvas analogy is to become aware of a space that exists between thought and the self. Thoughts are like painting on the canvas, but the underlying canvas, that is awareness itself, never changes. Canvas, you can reuse it. Remove all the painting, create another canvas. So there is something in us. You paint through the thought, you paint through the anxiety, you paint through the reaction, you paint through separation, you paint through the compassion. So divide into two categories. The positive categories, it helps you to reach to canvas. Negative thought pattern of anxiety reaction takes you away, too far from your real self. Both are there. But one thing is sure, both do not impact the canvas. I have never understood the modern painting, the brushes, I've never understood. I said, this is highly distorted and there is nothing into it. I can't see anything. You show some girl or boy with a painting with a mountain, that makes sense to me. It doesn't make with sorry to those great painters, but it doesn't make sense to me. But both do not impact canvas. Another metaphor I have given you a couple of times, like how a movie screen remains unchanged whether displaying comedy or tragedy or horror. Movie screen doesn't change. So you are watching TV, you are watching Netflix, you have mentioned it, you are watching TikTok, find out what does not change. You are getting carried away by what changes. You fall victim to excitement, to the pleasure. That is causing the problem. How can distraction be both useful and harmful? I think you have understood it, but you have to constantly, you have to check throughout the day. 5 distractions harmful, and I became aware, gone. 5 distractions useful. I will keep these distractions into my bucket list. You're studying a particular topic, you Google out, you find some books. Yes, these distractions are definitely helpful. Noticing your mind has wandered to planning dinner during meditation. Then using this awareness to gently return attention to the breath. Useful. Useful. Catching yourself scrolling social media when you intended to work, using this recognition to close the app and refocus. Useful. Getting so lost in fantasy over Netflix and what is it, TikTok, about a past conversation that you miss your exit while driving. Harmful, very harmful. Getting so lost in fantasy about a past conversation you miss, becoming so absorbed in worries about tomorrow that you completely disconnect from the friend trying to share something important with you. You are so much absorbed in the worry about tomorrow when you are studying. Harmful distraction. I have to recognize these distractions. You didn't notice, I saw light is little less, so I have 2 lights. I open another light. Useful distraction. I appreciate it that you are working on the home assignment, you're working every day. You might discover in your homework assignment your thoughts about the girl spike during specific times after seeing a social media during boring classes, revealing patterns, then you can address consciously. You check during the class, was my mind distracted? On yes, on what? And then you address this consciously. You communicate with your mind. You are doing it, but you have to do it little deeper. Through tracking, you might notice these thoughts correlate with the feelings. It may correlate with the feelings of loneliness or inadequacy. You are living alone is very good. You have taken a right decision. But don't suffer from loneliness. I spend about 15, 16 hours in this room. I have to write, I have to do something, post something, and etc. etc. Where do I feel? We are only two people. Sometimes I hardly find time to communicate with my wife. She does it Indian way, Indian cooking. She is also busy and I'm also busy. But we don't feel that sense of loneliness. Check. Loneliness in modern times are normally, not specifically, but normally mixed with the drinking, mixed with the sensuality, mixed with the reaction, mixed with an excitement. You have to delete it. Loneliness will go away. Loneliness will go away. You have to continue with the POISE method. When anxiety arises about a presentation, instead of replacing anxious thought with a positive affirmation, create a space between yourself and anxiety. Oh, the thought of anxiety, done. Let me start. Or, if you remember the space, you fill the space with Om Shanti. We have done that practice of meditation. Rather than countering self-criticism with the self-praise, step back from both. Self-criticism, step back. Observer, witness. Instead your mind keeps on saying, I'm failing on this test, where I'm going to ace this test. So let both the thoughts fight with each other. You keep on repeating until the second thought wins. Either, this is a thought, I'm not a thought, so I'm not failing the test. Sometimes the mind says, I'm not good enough. With a repeated affirmation, I'm worthy and capable. One option. Second option, I'm not this thought. Good enough or bad enough. Leave this. Leave this. Leave this. Don't forget presence, self-awareness, observer, investigate, witness, space, and embody. Embody Om Shanti. Right. Om Shanti. Let us go a little deeper into one more question. Why is self-awareness considered the foundational step in any meditation and mindfulness? So you see, the self-awareness is a foundational step in any meditation because it acts as an inner compass. Now go to the compass. Use that metaphor. It's an inner compass that helps individuals, practitioners identify what is truly happening in the mind. Self-awareness is like an inner compass. You say your physical compass, where I'm in, which direction I'm going. Self-awareness tells you what is happening in the mind. Compass, I'm not seeing. Now I'm seeing compass. Oh, it's the north, it's the south, it's the east, and west. No, I have to go to the east direction. You casually take east direction. Self-awareness helps. What's happening in the mind? What I'm doing. I'm doing meditation. What's happening in the mind? My mind has gone to the girls. Oh, casually you return. But if you try to control that thought, it will cause problems. Just as a compass guides one's direction, self-awareness allows for the recognition. You have to listen to it again and again, then reflect. Self-awareness allows for the recognition of thoughts, feelings, and emotions without identification or attachment. Compass is not attached to you. When you open the compass, it will show the direction. Neutral. So self-awareness shows the direction. What the heck you are doing? Why you are engaged with this thought? And you change the direction. The initial recognition is very crucial to distinguish between the observing self and the mental content. Observer and the mental content. POISE method. O. Observer. Observer and the mental content. If there is no content, where is the observer? So observer and the mental content are different. So self-awareness helps you. Self-awareness helps you. Similarly, how does this thought separation created many questions? So how does the thought separation technique contribute to detachment? To detachment. No, I don't want that. My fireflies now it remembers now. You see that? Even the machine learning is quite interesting. No, deny. But anyhow, I already have your audio file. I will see what I have. So the thought separation technique, what it says, I have to use this thought to separate the thought. I am not the anxiety. I am into anxiety. Yes, I am into anxiety. This is a thought. I am not a thought. Hence, I am not in anxiety. You keep on saying with every reaction, every anxiety, duality, conflict. No, I'm falling into sleep. No, this is a thought. I'm not falling into sleep. This is only a thought. But we need that level of awareness at the time when you're falling into sleep. Otherwise, both are gone. But it comes by repeat practice. It comes by practice. My master used to say, we used to have, I don't have that, So we used to have dhoti. It is almost 12 feet long, plain cloth. You might have seen they used to cover the half of which is covered under below the waist, and other half is covered on the top. The monk dress. So one guy has a forgetting problem. So what he did with that cloth, he just created a knot, and he said, now I will remember. Now I will remember what work I have to do in the evening. Now the evening has come, and he said there is a note. Why I created this note? He forgot that. So this thought separation technique, when your mind will be tuned to that no thought is me, by repeat practice, the life becomes so beautiful. In any situation, event, relationship, with your mom, mom is saying you something, and you remember, oh, whatever mom is expressing, it is in the form of a thought, and I'm not the thought. Let me listen and pay attention to respond effectively. Finished. Internally, you said it, and now you're ready. Now you're ready. So, this technique encourages you to powerfully affirm. What to affirm? Thoughts, feelings, and emotions are separate from you. The thought of anxiety arises. You recognize the thought of anxiety. I am not the thought. I am not the anxiety. In the beginning, it will not happen, but gradually you will realize that you have given ample freedom to your mind from anxiety, duality, conflict, even sleepiness, laziness. What is this process? This process, we say, the intellectual discernment. We are moving from the default mind to a discerning mind. Repeatedly you apply this, and you will find that the life changes completely.